Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Hope you guys are having a great day, and by popular demand today, I'm going to be covering the new Amazon gift cards that Wizard101 put out like a few days ago. If you guys are unfamiliar, right, basically this is something that Wizard101 has never done. They put out gift cards on Amazon, and the denomination that they used was $30, which there's never been a $30 thing that you buy as a bundle. There's always been 10, 20, and 40. 30 is new. Each of these new cards either feature a new Pegasus pet, or it features a new Maycast jewel that's very similar to the Kroger jewels that we've had up to now. Now, the pets are literally just reskinned enchanted armaments. They just give 3 of these, but they give new talents here and there. They're basically just, they look different per the month that you buy it. It's very similar to what we already have, but the jewels are very different than what we already have. Now, the Kroger jewels that I referenced just now are, you know, when I talk about them, I'm talking about things that give a talent and a Maycast added onto it, which is honestly not something that you see that often at all. A good example of this is the Melting Point Ruby, right? It gives Armor Piercer, which is kind of nice, right? It gives that Armor Piercer, but it also adds a Maycast Incendiate. The really popular ones are the D-Lance jewel, which gives 5 pip chance, and a Dragon Lance Maycast, and Undauntable, which gives 5 resist, which is basically Defy, and it gives a Brace Cast. Now, they've been rolling these out kind of steadily, so we only actually have 3 months of them, but I thought I'd look at them, and now that they're on Amazon, you can get them any month, and every month there will be a new jewel. So it turns out there could be some jewels we've never seen in the game before that could really change things, just like D-Lance, Undauntable, and Melting Point. So the first one is a Transcendent Opal, which gives Pip Conserve and a Maycast Empowerment. Now, I honestly really like this because right now it's actually pretty damn hard, in my opinion, to actually get Pip Conserve. Like, I'm literally running a Mastery Amulet, a deck that gives pretty much as much Pip Conserve as you can get out of a deck. And even if I were to change my wand to something worse that gave more Pip Conserve, you'll notice that my Pip Conserve isn't even 80%. Most meta sets, depending on the school, will hover around 70% Pip Conserve. It honestly creates a very RNG situation because sometimes you really need the Pip Conserve in order to win. So the fact that there might be a way to make a pet like this, which already has Defy, and it's on a setup where I already have very good pip chance, you make a pet like this into something that gives actual conserve and gives you a Maycast. It's actually a very nice thing to have. Obviously, 23 extra conserve is not that crazy. I mean, you're going from about 68% to probably around 74%, maybe something like that. It's like 5-6% extra, but honestly, if you can afford the talent space, it's probably gonna win you games that you would otherwise lose. The May jewel that you can buy on Amazon, I guess, in future months of May, I guess, it's actually really crazy too. It gives a Painbringer, and it also adds a Maycast Plague. Now, Painbringer is a 3% damage kind of thing, so it's probably pretty ass if you like, I don't know, it's probably not as good as Armor Breaker, for example, or just, you know, getting another talent like, you know, Resist, Award. But depending on the actual cast rate of this Maycast, it could be really good. I mean, you've seen all kinds of other Maycasts, I think, on the channel. I've just uploaded a lot of things, like, you know, there's all kinds of Maycasts that are, I think, overtuned, like Locust Swarm, for example. If it hits even once, if it hits twice in one game, you're looking at a competitive advantage, and you're looking at a game that you can win on the spot. It's not even hard. And I think Plague can be like that. Now, it's not Virulent Plague, right? It's just regular Plague, which is, it's honestly not that bad. It's a 20% weakness, but that makes me think that they could actually make the cast rate higher as a result of that. And if you get like 2 or 3 weaknesses, especially against schools that are weaker in terms of HP, that could really screw them over. I bring this up for a reason. You'll see a video probably somewhat soon where I literally got this Maycast Locust Swarm against a Storm, and it was absolutely nuts after that, because it's literally just one round where you just got something for free, and it's crazy. Now, you could argue that one round where you get something for free is literally every Maycast, but not every Maycast is broken as something like a weakness, which literally just basically makes someone's hit bad, or something like a Locust Swarm where you could literally gain on someone's shield, right? These are much worse because they could actually completely determine the outcome of the game. I honestly like auras a lot more because, one, balance could aura pop, so they come with an actual trade-off, and there's obviously the fact that if you don't like the situation that aura creates, you could always just wait 4 rounds, unless you're at full pips, in which case you're probably wasting some pip gain. But for the most part, if you're not at full pips, you can actually waste out the aura pretty easily, right? There's other ways to run that out, and it doesn't become such an advantage. It just buys you time, if anything. So I really hope that we don't get something that someone pays $30 for, and then they just get a bunch of weaknesses, and then they just win. That could be a really stupid situation, especially considering the fact that you literally pay pay for it, right? That's a very big dimension that you should look at when it comes to these things. I think when you start being able to pay to literally win games, especially when it comes to things that are very consequential, like D-lands, like, you know, like weaknesses, that could be a problem. This jewel I'm a lot more scared about because it actually could determine the outcome of a game, and that's why I'm a little nervous about it. And this month, the healthy cycle of life type beat, it's called the Invigorating opal. Now, this gives a healthy talent, which is an incoming talent. So right now, there's a talent called Lively, which gives you 8% incoming, and healthy will give you 4% incoming. Now, there is a gigantic issue with incoming talents right now, and it's a fact that in PvP, incoming does not calculate into how you heal. So this seems like a gigantic oversight to do in June anyways, because even if you were to buy this jewel with the hope that, you know, you can maybe get a cycle of life and maybe you can get some more incoming, the incoming just doesn't work. Also, I have not tested out cycle of life, but if it's not like mend, now mend is 20% outgoing. If cycle of life is incoming, then that could be a really, really big problem, because then you just get a Maycast. It's not even really useful for PvP at all. In PvE, it's mildly useful because, I mean, a cycle of life is an incoming, right? I mean, if it's incoming, then it's bad. How do I feel about these jewels? I'm gonna be honest, I have not been a big fan of the jewels that give a Maycast and then a stat added onto them. And the real problem with it is that there's only one way to get it, and it's by paying money. You won't see any pets that I use right now in PvP that doesn't have some sort of Maycast. If it doesn't have Defy, I'm putting an Undauntable on it. If it does have Defy, I'm either putting a Melting Point or a D-Lance jewel on it. A pet like this, where I literally have fixed a ward just to do it, it's not even a good pet, because I would prefer that the myth ward replaces it if I put an Undauntable jewel on it. These types of jewels make actually good pets much harder to make, and it's already a very hard thing to do. And it also adds a barrier competitively to PvP, which is why I'm not really a fan of the fact that not only are they adding more of these, but they're putting them behind a higher paywall. The Kroger jewels that I referenced earlier, those are $20 purchases. Now you're at $30. I know that a lot of these are probably not as consequential at high level, but I can guarantee to you, if they're actually trying to make low level PP into a thing right now, which right now it's really hard to do low level PP because of Decathlon gear, because of random item cards that do way too much damage. There's a real issue of actual, like, you know, skill in the Master League and the Legendary League. It's just a lot of spam hitting right now. I don't think that's a direction that they want to go, and Maycasts, where you can just get more and more out of your pet just because you pay money, it's gonna have a gigantic consequence at lower levels. On the bright side, I think this is very important. The fact that they're moving on to Amazon as a retailer is really important. I think it's just way better than having to go to a random shop. Geographically, some people could not even have access to Kroger jewels. They had to have a middleman buy it for them, and then they had to charge them more for, like, I don't know, gas, if they needed to, like, drive over to it, or whatever else the expenses are to go over and get that card. Basically, it was very hard for some people to get these jewels, and now at least it's easier. There is a bright side in that way. It looks like King's House really evolving their business strategy. I'm not, like, opposed to them actually looking at other ways to make money. I just hope it doesn't intrude on what could be good games in PvP, especially at low levels, because these Maycasts are kind of huge sometimes. I know some people feel very strongly about Kroger jewels, and now we're gonna have literally 9 more months on Amazon of new jewels. Who knows what they're gonna put into the game? So let me know what you guys think. As always, man, drop a comment, drop a like. If somebody has not told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong. So stay awesome. I'll see y'all soon. And yeah.